Bueno, muy buenas tardes a todas las personas que se van conectando a esta sesión informativa de Colfuturo. Como ya lo sabrán, hoy vamos a estar con Vanderbilt University y nos va a acompañar su representante y también un beneficiario de Colfuturo quien nos va a compartir su experiencia haciendo ese programa. Entonces, la invitación para todos es que permanezcan en la sesión donde vamos a hablar sobre la oferta académica, requisitos de admisión, proceso de postulación, así como también el convenio que se tiene con Colfuturo y que les puede brindar en este caso un descuento del 50% en el valor de su matrícula. Así que si alguno está interesado en acceder a este gran beneficio, la invitación es que se postule al sistema de financiación de Colfuturo, que se llama Crédito Beca y que abrirá su convocatoria el próximo año, específicamente el 9 de enero del 2024 y cerrará el 29 de febrero. Así que tendrán ese lapso de tiempo para postularse con alguno de los programas de Vanderbilt University. Y si nosotros lo seleccionamos desde Colfuturo, les van a otorgar este beneficio que acabo de mencionar, que es para dos beneficiarios de Colfuturo. Y adicionalmente, quiero en este caso comentarles que si ustedes tienen preguntas, tienen dudas, la presentación va a ser en inglés. Sin embargo, contamos con Carlos, quien habla español, así que si alguno de pronto quiere hacer una pregunta, ya sea en inglés o en español, puede hacerlo y con mucho gusto vamos a poder ayudarlos con esas inquietudes en la cajita de Q&A. Así que sin más introducción, le doy las gracias a todos por participar y unirse a esta sesión, recordándoles que vamos a grabarla y que también la compartiremos con ustedes en caso de que tengan que salir tiempo antes y quieran revivir la información que tocamos en esta sesión. So with no more introduction, thank you so much, Carlos. Thank you, Kim, for being here. And you can go ahead and start the presentation.
Great. Gracias, lady. Hi, everybody. I'm Kim Killingsworth, the Director of International Recruiting and Relations for the Vanderbilt MBA, and I'll have Carlos introduce himself in a minute. But I just wanted to let you know that we're going to be talking specifically about the unique leadership development program at Vanderbilt, because it really does set us apart from other programs. So first of all, as I said, I'm Kim Killingsworth, Director of International Recruiting and Relations, and I would love to have Carlos introduce himself.
Sure. Thank you, Kim. My name is Carlos. I'm from Bogota, Colombia. I'm also a Colfuturo recipient and doing my MBA at Vanderbilt University, concentrating in operations and analytics. Before my MBA, I used to work as a process efficiency consultant back in Colombia. And this summer, I did my internship here in Seattle at Amazon as a senior program manager intern, working as part of the devices and services fintech team. And I got my full-time offer as well for next year. So I'm super happy to share with you guys my experience at Vanderbilt.
And I'm sure Carlos is too humble to share that he got his internship. Was it the first week of classes or before you even arrived on campus?
Yeah, actually, it's funny because it was the first day of classes. I got my offer for my internship at Amazon. So that's like pretty
Which
good.
is absolutely amazing. That never happens. So when he told me that, I just knew that he was fantastic. So we're going to talk a little bit about the structure of the Leadership Development Program, which we refer to as LDP. And then I'm going to have Carlos talk about his personal experience from participating in the LDP. And then I'll give some brief highlights about the MBA program, and then I'll open it up for any questions that you may have. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So why should you care about leadership? I can tell you that is the number one thing that employers are looking for. It's leadership potential. They don't necessarily expect you to have already had the leadership experience, but they expect you to have the potential. And what we do in our unique leadership development program is provide you with the tools and with executive coaching to help you develop that potential, to develop your strengths and your weaknesses as well. This is your time in the MBA program to be selfish and to focus on you. You probably will never have 2 years again during your life that you can just focus on you and do all the professional development that you need. And we really want you to maximize all of the resources around you. There are a lot of different resources out there. So we want you to maximize those and to take advantage of our leadership development program. So the way it's designed is that in the first year, before you come to campus, if you raised your hand and you said you're interested in doing this because it's optional, it's not a course, you don't get credit for it, it's optional, it's part of the MBA program, you don't pay anything extra. But if you say you want to do it, before you arrive on campus, we administer the Hogan assessment for leadership. And that is going to show what your strengths and your weaknesses are as a leader. Then when you come on campus, you will meet with some of the staff of the LDP, and they will help you decipher all of the information from that evaluation. They will also help you decide which path you want to do. You can do either the individual or the flex. So if you do the individual, you will have 4 sessions the first year with an executive coach. With the flex, it's 2 sessions on demand whenever you need them. So that's usually for people who have a little bit more leadership experience. And the LDP team matches you up with executive coaches that we hire from outside of Vanderbilt. They aren't faculty, they aren't staff, they're executive coaches who are certified, who have many years experience doing this, typically with mid-career professionals. We match you up with those coaches, and then you work with them to develop your weaknesses and to amplify your strengths and to help you craft your leadership style. Second year is a little bit different. They're all different types of activities, such as joining the LDP cohort. You can do peer sessions. You can do some more coaching if you need it. There are friend conversations, and then you create a blueprint template for your leadership style. So it looks different for everybody. And that's the beauty of this, is that it's very, very personalized. It's going to look different for everybody because everybody brings different experience to the MBA program. Okay, so I now would love to have Carlos talk about his experience and what his path looked like in the LDP. So Carlos, how did you apply LDP learnings during the first year while you were having your coaching sessions?
Yeah, I think that in general, the LDP is part of the MBA experience. And the first year, you start with the Hogan assessment to understand your leadership style. And as you said, your weaknesses and strengths, you will really work with the LDP team and with a coach in those growth opportunities. In my case, for example, the LDP really helped me in all the adaptation process here in the American culture. It is my first time studying and working here in the US, and I think that the LDP really made it really easy. In terms of communicating, in terms of working with diverse teams, networking, that is really important for recruiting, for example, like the coffee chats, how to be comfortable, like in a different background. So all this was really important in the first year, but also how to prepare for the summer, the internship experience. So definitely was valuable, and I was very comfortable then when I arrived in Amazon this year.
That's nice that you could focus on how to prepare for the experience because you didn't have to go through all the recruiting like all the other students did. You already had your internship. So then you could focus on preparing for the summer.
Yeah, correct.
So that's really nice. What was your coach like?
She was really friendly. She was like a friend, basically. She was very committed to my progress, and we even like share books, and we did the different like exercises of like during the first 2 months to assess my progress in terms of leadership communication. So even now we talk constantly about like the internship experience. What are my expectations for the second year? So I think that you make a genuine connection with your coach, and I think that that's really important.
And what was one LDP learning that you put into action during your internship?
Wow, I think that almost everything that I applied here at Owen, like for example, how to work with diverse teams, that was like applicable also at Amazon, how to work across the different levels of organization here in the US, and also how to communicate an idea effectively, how to receive and give feedback. So those tips that we work here with my coach really helped me to crack my internship and to take the most out of the experience and get my offer, I guess.
Was there anything you learned about your leadership style or about yourself on your internship that you wanted to work on during your second year?
Yeah, I was really I think that I built that confidence with my coach because I was really afraid. It was my first time working outside Colombia, and I think that Colombia people are super friendly. So I was like, oh, what if I don't meet the expectations in the US, for example? So I was like not confident at all. But then working really hard with my coach and the LDP team, I think that I developed that confidence. That really helped me throughout my internship experience.
Great. And what does the second year in LDP look like for you? You mentioned your meeting with your coach.
Yeah, I have definitely some takeaways from my internship in terms of leadership style, and also I want to be prepared for my full-time position at Amazon. So I have actually in the next week my first meeting with my coach to work on that. So we'll have like all this year and next year until May to work on the second year coaching experience.
Great. Anything else you want to say about it before we talk about highlights of the MBA program?
No, I just I want to say that definitely is part of the experience, and really will make the adaptation process easier. So that was like my concern. And it was like deciding, okay, should I go to the US? But it's like that the cultural differences, like the language, how to communicate. But the LDP was an essential component in that.
Great. I'm glad to hear that. Congratulations on the return offer to Amazon.
Thank you. Yeah.
Many people apply to Vanderbilt because of this leadership development program. And many say it was the highlight of the MBA for them. So I hope that you'll check that out. On our website, we have a video of testimonials of other students who have participated and what they thought and how they found it was very, very transformative for their leadership. Okay, I'm going to just give you a quick overview of some highlights of the program. We're known for offering a world-class education on a personal scale. This is a relatively small size MBA of about 170 students. This year, I think it's about 160, 164. And we find that is the sweet spot. That is the number that works to create a very collaborative environment. This is somewhere where professors know the students by name. In fact, in the Princeton Review, we were ranked #2 for best professors. And the student to faculty ratio is 7:1. And not only do all the professors know the students by name, but they engage with them a lot socially. They all know what the students are looking for as far as their job search goes or internship search. And it's just a very, very social place. It's a great community. All the students know each other within their class and often between the two classes. Every Thursday evening, which is the end of the class week, we have what's called closing bell. And this is a big opportunity to bring the whole community together. Students, staff, faculty. We even allow dogs on campus. And there's always wine and beer that is served and food, and it's always sponsored by a club. In fact, this Thursday, I'm happy to announce it's the Latin Business Association sponsoring. And I believe we've got some live capoeira demonstration because it's Brazil week at Vanderbilt. So that'll be fun. And just a great way to meet students and staff and faculty that you might not have an opportunity to otherwise. So really creates community. We have all different types of clubs, from professional to sports clubs, and we have student government. We have the International Student Care Group. And that is a group of staff and faculty who come together maybe twice a semester and meet with all of the international students. There's no agenda. It's usually for lunch. It's very casual. Drop in if you can. You don't have to stay the whole time. It's just a way for us to check in with the international students and make sure that everybody has the resources that they need and that they're adjusting okay to life here in Nashville. It's not always easy, as Carlos mentioned. You know, he was a little leery about that before coming. So this is a great support network and all different types of clubs. My favorite activity is the Cosmopolitan Week, which we hold in the spring, and it's hosted by the Global Business Association, and it brings together all the different students from different countries where they can highlight different events based on their countries, and it culminates with the International Food Festival, where, for example, all the students from Latin America will get together and cook food from their countries. And then we've got the Vietnamese table, the Korean table, and it's just a wonderful, wonderful way, again, to bring together the community. We do things a little bit differently academically. We break our semesters into 2 mods. It's a modular system. That means classes are only 7 weeks long. And in the first year, students get to take 6 electives, as well as all of their required courses. So by taking those 6 electives, they're able to develop an expertise in an area by the time they go to their summer internship. It also gives them an opportunity to try out different areas. They may not completely know what they want to go into, so they can try different courses. And then the second year is all elective courses. And students are welcome to take courses in any other school or department at Vanderbilt as part of their MBA with no tuition differential. We're located in Nashville, Tennessee. It's also known as Music City, USA. It's in the southeastern part of the US, and it's within an easy 2-hour flight of all of the cities on the East Coast, from Boston to Miami, as well as Houston and Dallas. So very easy to get places. It has professional sports teams. It has a new soccer league. It has incredible music, because this is where country music started. And not all country music, but all different types of music, some of it free. And we're known for our Southern hospitality. I often ask the international students what their biggest surprise is coming to Nashville, and they say the Southern hospitality, the fact that strangers will stop on the street and say hello and ask them how they are. And so just very, very warm environment here. Great job market. This is the fastest growing city in the US. So lots of jobs that are available. Amazon is moving its Center for Excellence for Operations to Nashville to be based here. Alliance Bernstein moved its operations from New York to Nashville. Nissan has its North America headquarters here in Nashville. So lots of different companies are set up here. These are our application deadlines. The first one is October 3rd, with a notification date December 14th. And then you have about 5 weeks before you have to deposit if you're going to, if you are admitted and you want to join us. We have 5 different rounds, and for internationals, there's 4. So the last deadline for internationals is March 26th. However, if you were to apply by March 26th, you don't get a decision until May 3rd. That makes it really, really, really stressful for you to line up your loans and to get your visa in time to be here by early August when classes start, when orientation starts. So I recommend that if you're going to apply, that you try to apply by round 3, by February 27th. And candidates often ask me when the best round is to apply. If you can apply in round 1 or 2, that's the best. That's when we have more scholarship available. But if you're not quite ready, then don't apply until round 3. Apply when you can submit a very, very competitive application. Our partnership with Colfuturo guarantees scholarship of anywhere from 50 to 100% tuition. So if you are a beneficiario de Colfuturo, we will automatically give you 50 to 100%. and it's merit-based. So it depends on your undergraduate scores, your work experience, and your test scores. We provide scholarships across the board, even if you aren't a Col-Futuro recipient, from $10,000 per year to full tuition, and they're all merit-based. And I recommend that you go to our website, sign up for some of our events. We offer many, many different webinars and small group sessions with students and the Career Management Center, recruiting and admissions. We have FAQs. So if you have a question, it likely can be answered in the FAQs. We also have a whole section for international candidates, so you can find information there. So please go to our website, sign up for some of the webinars, and look at the FAQs, look at the section for internationals. And now I would love to open it up for any questions that you may have, for either for Carlos or for myself. You can either use the chat or you can raise your hand.
Well, first, thank you, Kim, for all the information you gave us. And I have two questions from social media.
Okay.
The first one, I would say that is for Carlos. So I'm going to ask it in Spanish because the person asked in Spanish. And the question is, basada en la experiencia que has obtenido haciendo tu programa en un país como Estados Unidos, que suele conocerse como un país un poco costoso, ¿cuáles serían tus recomendaciones en términos de crear ese presupuesto y lograr conseguir opciones de financiación o becas?
Sí, bueno, creería que yo también tenía esa preocupación en términos de financiamiento, claro. Ah, por supuesto, planear con anticipación el presupuesto para el programa de MBA. Van a ser 2 años en los que básicamente pues, no se va a estar trabajando, pero también mirar alternativas. Por ejemplo, Vanderbilt tiene el convenio con Colfuturo, que es como del 50 al 100%. Y, por ejemplo, en mi caso, por mi desempeño académico en el primer año, Vanderbilt me ofreció otra beca hace como 2 meses para el segundo año. Entonces, esto también me ayudó bastante para el financiamiento. Entonces, mirar también que no solamente es de entrada, sino pues mantener el promedio del GPA, y pueden haber más alternativas en términos de becas con la escuela. Um, y igual hay diferentes como empresas que financian, entonces que creo que está Prodigy Finance. Uh,
And excuse me, Empower Finance as well. Tenemos los dos.
Sí, de esas dos instituciones para el financiamiento del programa, y creo que el pago es igual hasta que uno termine la carrera, y creo que las cuotas son bastante atractivas.
We have a
Yes.
question. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, lady.
Yeah, go ahead, Kim. Go ahead.
There was a question here in the Q&A about assistantships. We don't offer assistantships as part of the financial aid package, but once you are at Vanderbilt, you are welcome to apply for different positions that we have, such as with the recruiting and admissions office, or with the Career Management Center. And sometimes professors need research assistants or TAs.
Mm-hmm.
So you can apply for those positions once you're here as a student.
Yeah. Thank you, Kim. Then the other question that we have is regarding the GMAT exam. So they want to know what is the score that they should have in order to be admitted to the MBA program.
There is no minimum score, but on our website under class profile, you'll see that the median, I believe, is 680. That was for last year's class, the class that Carlos was in, and those stats will be changed probably at the beginning of October. And the 80% range, I believe, don't quote me exactly, but I believe it was 620 to 720, around there. So you want to have at least in the 80% range. You can also request a test waiver so that you don't have to take the GMAT the GRE, or the executive assessment. And there's information on our website about that.
Good. Thank you. We're gonna check the Q&A. I guess we have another question. The assistant would be possible in the first year of the MBA. Is the same one that Daniel asked about the assistantships.
Yes, yes. There are positions open in the first year.
Good. Thank you. Then I'm gonna go ahead with the second question that we have from social media. And this one is about the work experience. So Carlos told us that he had good luck and he got a really good position. So the person wants to know a piece of advice, like in general, how to get a job easily in a country like United States.
That question is in Spanish or English?
Well, he asked in Spanish, but it's up to you.
Creo que importante, yo también tenía esa percepción de que era muy difícil encontrar trabajo acá, especialmente porque en Colombia yo trabajaba para pequeñas empresas en consultoría y yo quería cambiar a tech en Estados Unidos, entonces para mí era como casi imposible, básicamente. Pero algo que me sirvió bastante fue que al momento de que te aceptan en Vanderbilt, por ejemplo, tú tienes acceso al CMC y ellos me ayudaron bastante a trabajar en mi resumen, en el cover letter, en hacer preparación para entrevistas. Hay diferentes programas de pre-MBA donde incluso antes de empezar el programa tú puedes ir aplicando. Entonces yo apliqué a Amazon. Y en el momento de que recibí la entrevista, yo contacté a CMC en Vanderbilt y ellos me ayudaron como a mirar, por ejemplo, la hoja de vida, el resumen, a preparar las preguntas y respuestas, cómo abordar la entrevista. Entonces, eso fue pues muy valioso, que incluso antes de iniciar el programa, del programa, tú ya tienes acceso al CMC, por ejemplo. Y de todas maneras, incluso ya estando en el primer año, en el primer módulo, yo diría que los primeros dos módulos hay bastantes eventos, hay empresas que vienen acá a Vanderbilt, hay a coffee shops, está como ese networking en el que te va a facilitar tener esa visibilidad con exalumnos, pero también personas pues, que hacen recruiting acá internamente, como que contratan acá, sí.
Thank you. And that's something that really sets us apart is how personable the experience is. So as Carlos mentioned, you have access to the Career Management Center coaches before you even arrive at Vanderbilt. In April, they start working with the incoming class. They start doing different presentations and they start helping with cover letters and resumes to ensure that the students are able to hit the ground running when they arrive.
Sí, algo también a añadir es que la universidad, la gente aquí en Estados Unidos conoce a Vanderbilt. Entonces eso fue como una carta de presentación, por decirlo así, de que, Vanderbilt, entonces tienen como una buena referencia, por lo menos en Amazon ya sabían que Vanderbilt y tenían como esa buena imagen del programa. Eso ayudó bastante, yo creería.
Gracias, Carlos. La siguiente pregunta también está en español, diría que es para ti, pero creo que Kim también nos puede ayudar a responderla. Y es específicamente sobre las cartas de recomendación. Así que la pregunta es también sobre consejos, si te pidieron cartas de recomendación y qué consejos les puedes dar a las personas para que esa carta sea exitosa en su proceso de admisión.
There's only one letter of recommendation that is required, and we prefer that you provide only one recommender. And the way it works is you provide the name of a supervisor, or if you don't want your supervisor to know that you may be leaving to do an MBA, then perhaps a team leader of a team that you were on, and you provide the name and the contact information. We reach out to that person with a form, and they fill out a form. And then they send it back to us. And the applicant, the candidate, never sees it. It's between the recommender and Vanderbilt.
Okay.
And we also use the common letter recommendation as well.
Okay, good. Let me check. I guess the other
So
question.
I would recommend that you ask somebody who knows you well, your weaknesses and your strengths. Somebody that you work with, not a professor, for example.
Okay, good. Then we have a question about the language. Do they have to present to the admission process?
I'm sorry, you froze up for a bit. What do they need to present?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was talking about the language requirement.
Uh-huh.
Then if you accept IELTS, TOEFL, Cambridge, which kind of exam do you accept?
We accept the Duolingo English test, which is a test that you do online in the privacy of your own home, 24/7. And we also accept IELTS and TOEFL. For the TOEFL, we're looking for a minimum of 100. For the IELTS, a minimum of 7. And for the DET, the Duolingo English test, a minimum of 130.
Thank you. Next one would be for Carlos, and I'm gonna do it in Spanish. And the question is, ¿cuál fue el cambio o lo que más te impactó de la educación de otro país? Hablando de la educación superior.
Yo creería que eh, el, el nivel de interacción entre no solamente el profesor y los estudiantes, sino entre todos los estudiantes. Tú aquí no solamente aprendes del profesor, por ejemplo, sino de la experiencia de cada uno, sí, de los estudiantes que aportan desde su experiencia cultural y profesional. Entonces, en cada clase no es que el profesor dicta y uno está ahí anotando, sino que uno participa activamente y no te lo niego, al principio fue difícil porque pues en inglés es diferente a como lo hiciese en español, pero pues eso hace parte de la experiencia, ¿no? Uno aprende como también a ser más confidente y es una manera didáctica de aprender, diría yo.
Gracias, Carlos. Creo que tenemos otra pregunta acá en el chat de Zoom y también es para ti. Daniela nos pregunta que aproximadamente durante cuánto tiempo preparaste tu aplicación.
Sí, yo creería, yo apliqué como, me estuve preparando como 6 meses, yo creería que 6 meses fue como mi tiempo para preparar como todos los documentos y hablar con la carta, con las personas para la recomendación, el examen de inglés, que en mi caso fue el Duolingo y fue bastante sencillo. Pero sí, yo diría que aproximadamente unos 6 meses.
Gracias, Carlos. Y ya tengo acá la última pregunta que tenemos de redes sociales. Diría que es para los dos. So, Kim, if you want to help me to answer this question, it would be great. And the
Okay.
question is, like, what makes a strong candidate for the kind of programs of Vanderbilt? Like, what can they do to improve the chances of being admitted?
I would say I always encourage candidates to be as authentic as possible. Don't tell us what you think we want to hear, but just be yourself and offer your experience. Sometimes candidates will say, I work in my family business. Does that count? It's not a matter of counting. I mean, that's valid experience. That's your experience. And everybody's going to have different experience. Everybody has a different story. Everything counts. So have confidence and present it in a way that is very, very authentic. Just be yourself.
Thank you, Kim. And I don't know if you want to add something, Carlos, from your experience, like what tips they can follow in order to have an admission process and successful admission process. You have the mic off. We cannot hear you.
Yeah, I think that as Kim said, it's really important to be yourself and to be confident on your experience. And okay, what you can put on the table basically here at Vanderbilt, what are going to be your added value basically.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And I recommend that you get to know the program as much as you can, because this is a huge investment. It's 2 years of your time out of the workforce. And like I said earlier, this is the only time in your life that you're going to be able to dedicate 2 years to your personal development. So
Yeah.
make sure that you do a really good job of getting to know the program. Attend our webinars, reach out to our student fellows on our website, ask them about their experience. And if at all possible, come visit. We have 2 big recruiting events, one in November and one in February. So if you're able to come to those, or come for a class visit, which is a campus visit where we take you to a class, which is every other Monday. And if you can't do that, just talk to as many current students and alums of the program that you can. You want to make sure that this is the right program for you. And think about it, this is where you're going to spend 2 years of your life. So you want to make sure that you're happy and it's somewhere that you want to be and that it's a good fit for you.
Yeah, good. So thank you, Kim, for the
Mhm.
advice. And thanks again, Carlos, for being here and sharing all the experience with our participants. We're going to conclude the session, but thank you so much for being here and thanks for answering all the questions. So I guess we have your contact info. Kim, if you can send us for the assistance.
Great. Do you want me to put it in the chat?
Yeah, it would be great.
Right.
Good.
Thank you for having us, lady.
Thank you.
And again,
Thanks.
congratulations to Carlos.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.